$16 billion and more than 140,000 jobs. That's how valuable the U.S. military is to South Carolina. Good evening. I'm Daryl Hood. We all know that being home to military bases is a good thing for the Palmetto State, and many people want to make sure that South Carolina stays home to those bases during times of Pentagon budget cuts. Ivory Hecker spent time with state military base task force members tonight, and Ivory, they've got some concerns.
Daryl, they do. South Carolina did well in the last round of cuts and realignments in 2005, and South Carolina bases actually added people and jobs, but a previous BRAC, or base realignment and closure, took away the Charleston Navy shipyard, and members of the military base task force are trying to ensure we don't lose those bases, other bases, in the future.
We're hopeful that we won't be faced with another loss like that in a future BRAC. And so our effort is to try to put ourselves in as positive a position as we can.
Congress has not approved the date for the next BRAC. It is expected in 2015 or 2017. Bill Bethea, chairman of the South Carolina Military Base Task Force, compares the fight between military communities to maintain defense funding to a beauty contest.
We're going to be graded on how well we take care of our military bases and their personnel once we get into the process of a BRAC.
But the reduced staffing, pay, and maintenance funding due to sequestration are already making it more difficult for bases such as Shaw Air Force Base to prepare against a future BRAC.
Sequestration is alive and well at Shaw Air Force Base. We've got one fighter squadron that's been stood down, which means they don't fly. And when I say stood down, these folks are not flying airplanes, so the maintainers aren't maintaining airplanes.
Fort Jackson also citing concerns as furloughs begin to take effect this summer.
The way this thing is set up is that a person cannot get overtime pay nor compensatory time. So a person could work a little overtime, but they're not going to get paid for it. And so this is something that we hope is not going to affect the operation every day.
South Carolina could face a greater chance of seeing cuts and realignments when the next BRAC comes due to an increased military focus on the Pacific coast and Asia.
So, Ivory, what could that mean then for the future of military bases here in the state?
Well, as Bethea put it, the bases here would look towards a more reserve forces mission with fewer deployments or mobilizations, as more active duty forces would be moved to the West Coast.
Alrighty, thanks for the update, Ivory.